friends, I'm Likhitha H. Welcome to Code to Create channel. In this video, you're going to predict the second-hand price of a car. So let's begin. First of all, we have to import the necessary library. So I'm going to import pandas for now. I'm going to import pandas because I have to read the file. So I'm going to import pandas as pd, and then I'm going to say df is equal to pd.read_csv. And let me go to the file directory where I've saved my file, I mean the data set. So that's saved as car dataset. So slash car. Let me just extend it so that you guys can see properly. Yeah. Data.csv. Now let me show you guys the data. First of all, you're gonna enter the car name, what type of car it is, and then you're gonna enter the year. That means the year you bought it. What is the selling price of it? The present, like what is the price in the present, like in the present go downs. What is the present price? And then you have a kilometers driven. That means how many kilometers that can go, the car can go. And then you have the fuel type. And if it's petrol, diesel, CGL, and all those things. And then seller type, that's dealer or individual. Like the dealer is like the person who deals with cars itself, and the individual is he just want to sell some car that he have. And then the transmission is going to be manual or automatic. And then you have the owner, like how many cars the owner has. And then let me print out the options that it have. Df seller underscore type. I'm going to come out of the square bracket and write down unique. Let me just copy the same thing and paste it up. And this is going to be weather. And this is going to be what is a fuel type. So this one I'm just doing for showing you guys the type. I mean, what are the types like classification. I'm going to see what are the options we have. And then we have the transmission, and then you have the owner. Let me print. Yeah, so you can see here here in the seller type it's either dealer or individual, and then fuel type is petrol, diesel, or CNG, and then you have the transmission is automatic or manual. Owner has bought 0 or 1 or 3 cars, the number of cars. And now let me show you the null value. So I'm going to say is null dot sum. You can see car name is 0, year is 0, selling price is 0, owner is 0, everything is 0 over here. So that one we have to clear. That is a method. First let me just say I'm going to create a new file called as final.df. And then I'm going to create a new file called as final_dataset. Here it's just about like the columns. Here the first column is year, and then you have this selling price, and then you have the, let me copy up all of them other than the car name. Selling price I've pasted it, the kilometers driven till all the way to, and then you have comma, and then the final one, that is owner. So let me run this completely. Key error, kilometer driven not an index. So I've just typed it again. It was just a type small error, like it was a small error, a type error that was. So now if I run it, it's fine. And let me just show you guys the data set. That was because I have given a space. If I give, you can see. So when I give a space, it says that kilometers driven is not in. So when I give a space like this, it says kilometer driven is not in the index. Now if I remove the space, you can see it's all fine. So that was the error that I did. That was I gave a space between them. So that was the error. And let me just add up one thing, that's the current year. So I'm going to say final_dataset dot and then I'm gonna add up the current year into the column. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say final underscore data set current year. I'm gonna add the current year, and I'm gonna set the current year to 2020. Now let me run. Yes. So now let me just show you guys the final data set. Set dot head. You can see we'll have the current year. Yes, 2020 is the current year. And now let me just add, like, from this year, from the year to current year, what is the, I mean, like, how many days or how many, it's like how many years have you used this car? So for that I'm going to use number of years. So I'm going to say final underscore data set of number underscore year is equal to final underscore data set of the current year, and then what I'm going to do is, and then I'm going to put a slash, I'm going to put a hyphen line, and then I'm going to put like the, and then I'm going to put a horizontal line like this, say, and then I'm going to say final underscore data set of year. So this means the final data set, final data set current year minus the final data set of year is equal to this final data set of the number of year. So now let me show you guys the final data set dot head. You'll have this number of years also. You can see number of years 67396. That's why I have put the current year. And now I'm gonna drop the year because we got how many year it's used and the current year. So I'm gonna delete up this year up. So I'm gonna say final dataset dot drop of year, and I'm gonna say comma. I'm gonna set the axis to 1 and in place to true. In place in the sense, like, when you have to replace it or not. So if you set the in place to true, it's gonna replace final data set. And now let me just show you guys the final data set. You can see now you will not have the year. So I've removed the year, that's why. And then I'm gonna get the dummies of this final data set. So I'm gonna say final underscore data set dot, dummies, the final data set is equal to pt dot. I'm gonna get the dummies from the final data set itself. What final data set here we have given. So that one I'm gonna get the dummies, get underscore dummies final underscore data set comma drop underscore first is equal to true. And now let me show you guys the final data set. You can see the drop first in the sense it's into like a correct format. You can see now transmission manual, seller type individual, and here you can see one difference, that fuel type diesel 01 it is, and fuel type petrol 01, seller type individual 01. So here I've converted all to 01. That's the change I did from the dummies. And then from the dummies and from the data set, final data set, I'm gonna drop the current year too, because we've got the year. How many years are we using it? Yeah, how many years we have used it. So I'm gonna say final underscore data set is equal to final underscore data set dot drop, and I'm gonna drop up the current year, and I'm gonna set the axis of it to 1. And now let me show you guys the final data set. You can see now, let me just give me a minute. Yeah, you can see now we don't have the current year. And now we need to do train test split. So let me just say x is equal to final underscore data set dot ilog of ilog of columns from 1. The columns we needed, because the x is going to be what we're going to predict and the y is going to be like the predicted value. So I need the y to be as 1, that is going to be the answer. You can just give me a minute, I'll show you guys the answer. V. Okay, this final data set is going to be the answer. So now let me just show you guys X of owner, and here you have dot unique. Sorry, just give me a minute. And the owner, how many cars he have. Here unique in the sense the classification, whatever the things are there, columns what are different, like what columns are different here. Here we are gonna get the owner, how many, like how many cars the owner bought. That's 0, 1 or 3. That's all options we have. And now let's get the extra tree regressor. So I'm gonna say from sklearn.ensemble import extra tree regressor, and I'm gonna and after that I'm gonna say model is equal to extra tree regressor import error. Oh, okay. And after getting the X owners unique, I'm just gonna train test. I'm gonna just split it into train and test. So for that, let me import train test split. So I'm gonna say from sklearn dot model underscore selection import train test underscore split. Let me import, yes. And after this I'm gonna say x underscore train comma x underscore test comma y underscore train comma y underscore test is equal to train underscore test underscore split. And inside this we need to give the parameters, like what are we going to split. So that's x and y, and then the test size we need to give. So I'm gonna give the test size to 0.3. That means I'm gonna give the test size to 0.3, and then I'm gonna set the random state to. Now let me run this. Value error. It has inconsistent number of samples. Okay, so the data set, I'm gonna say x dot reshape to -1, 1. So reshape, okay. Why is it showing an error? Let me get its shape. X dot shape. Tuple object is not callable. Then you found input variable inconsistent number of samples. Okay, let's do one thing. I'm just gonna copy it up from my reference file, and let's see if that works. That should work because I've already tried it. So I've done one change, that is I've imported the extra tree regressor and matplotlib, and after that I'm gonna fit up this. Okay. Found array with 0 samples, reshape. Shape is equal to 0, 9 when minimum 1 is required. Okay, let's just try this. Oh god. Let's just print out the X and see. And it is having 301 rows and 8 columns. And let me get the Y. Okay, it's having 0. We have done one mistake over here. Let's check what is that. Okay, let's try this. X only, yes. And then the Y. Yes, now it should work. It is going to work for sure. You can see we have fit the extra tree regressor. That means it's going to work with this train test split also. Yeah, so we have fit this up, and there was just a small mistake that we hadn't put the commas. For that it had been 0 columns. That was the mistake we did. And after this I have to get the random forest regressor. So let me just import that. That's going to be the model we'll be using today. And then I have to import, after doing the train test split, I have to import the random forest regressor. That one will be the model we'll be using in today's video. And then we have to import the random forest regressor. That will be the model we'll be using in this video. So let me import that out. I'm going to say from sklearn.ensemble import random forest regressor. And after importing that, I'm going to say random forest regressor is equal to regressor. So I'm going to say it's just like a variable. So wherever we call it, the random forest is being called. So I'm going to say random forest regressor. Yeah. And after this, we have to get the n estimators. That means we're gonna import the randomized search CV and all those things. So I'm just gonna copy up those because we have already seen what are those. I'm gonna copy up those lines because I've showed it in most of my videos. If you haven't watched my videos, please do watch it. So I'm just gonna copy up this much, and then the randomized CV import. Come here, Control A and then Control C. Come here, paste it. It's working, yeah. And then I'm gonna say RF random is equal to random forest regressor. And after that, I'm gonna say RF. Let me just copy this up, and then I'm gonna explain you guys what is this. Name error, random grid is not defined. Yes. Let me paste the random grid. Yes. And I've put the RF as random forest regressor. That means whatever we did till now in the random forest regressor, that one is going to come inside this RF. And after that, I'm going to say RF underscore random. That's a different one. That is equal to randomized search CV. We're going to call this import randomized search CV. And then estimator is equal to RF. I have set the estimators to random forest regressor, whatever we did till now. And then the param distributors to random grid. That is going to be of n estimators, maximum features, maximum depth, minimum samples, split, and then minimum samples leave. And then we're going to set the scoring to negative mean squared error. That's a type of method. So that one I've got. And then I've set the n enter to 10, CV to 5, verbals to 2, and then random state to 42, and jobs to 1. So that is going to be the RF random. And then we have to fit this, X train and Y train into RF random. So let me do that is equal to, I'm going to say RF random dot fit X underscore train, comma Y underscore train. Oh, okay, train. Oh, yeah. Train. Yeah, it's fitting. It is not yet completed. No, it's not yet completed. So meanwhile, let me just predict. I'm just going to write that line. So I'm going to say predictions. That's going to be the variable. Predictions is equal to RF underscore random, that we have fit this right just now, the X train and Y train. So we're going to predict that itself. So X underscore test we're going to predict, as I told you guys. So the prediction is equal to, dot predict. This is going to be the predictions. After we predict, I'm just going to dump up this. Okay, yeah, we have completed. Now let me run this. Yes. And after this, I'm going to dump up everything. So before that, let me show you guys the value, the predictions. You can see it's in the form of array. And these are all going to be the amount. So in today's video, we're going to make an end-to-end project. So it's going to predict the amount. So for doing the end-to-end project, we have to dump this file into another file. So we can collapse both of them and then create the end-to-end project. So for that, I'm going to import pickle. The pickle will help, it will help this This model will help us, this library will help us to dump this up and concatenate all. So I'm going to say file is equal to open. So this one I've already created. If not, you can just create that up. You can just do what I'm doing over here. That's how you create underscore regression underscore model dot pkl. After dumping, after saying that this is the file, I'm going to say pickle dot dump rf underscore random comma file into file. That's what I mean. Write arguments. Okay. Yes, we have to write whether it's in the read form or write form. So let me just do that. Yes. So yeah, we have completed the prediction. Now let's move to the front end part. So that one I'm going to be creating it in the spider and concatenating them up. So now let's begin with the front end. So front end is divided into two parts. One is the functioning kind, and the other is going to be of the the design. So one is going to be here also we're going to do the prediction kind of. So for that, let me import Flask. First of all we have to import Flask because we use Flask for combining both of them, like for getting the for them both concatenating each other, and pickle is used for dumping them. So let me import that. Import Flask. Let me just make it a bit bigger for you guys. Yeah. And then I'm gonna, okay, let's just say from Flask, let's import Flask comma render template because we have to get the HTML. Render template comma request. So let's import all of them, and all of them are from Flask itself. Let me come down, and then I'm gonna import pickle. So because we have to get the file, I'm gonna import pickle, and then I'm gonna import numpy. So import numpy as np, and then I'm gonna say app is equal to Flask. So here we are saying that we are going to concatenate both. So underscore underscore name underscore underscore. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to get the model. So I'm going to say model is equal to pickle dot load. And here we're going to open up this so that we have to read the file. So let me just do one thing. I'm going to go to the directory where I've saved. I'm gonna go. Let me do one thing. I'm gonna go to the directory where Let me do one thing. I'm just gonna go to the directory where I've saved this. Where I have this, the file, the random forest regressor file, the one which we have predicted. So let me just open that. Where is that? Word game. No, it is going to be of the car price prediction over here. Let me come, and here I'm gonna put a single quote saying car price prediction slash random underscore forest underscore regression underscore model dot pkl, and that one is going to be in read rb. So let me run this. Okay, that's the Unicode error. So Unicode error is just like we have to write a r between them. So that's what Unicode error means. And now let's create the app root. So I'm going to say app.root is going to be of the prediction. So the methods. So comma, just give me a minute. Comma, methods is equal to post. And remember, all should be in the uppercase. or else that is going to go an error. Mine is just a bit slow. What? Okay, so let's just do one thing. I'm just gonna write predict over here. That should work. Syntax expected EOF while parsing. What? Oh yeah, we have done one mistake, that we have to import the standard scaler. So let me do that. I'm gonna say, so for that I'm gonna say from sklearn dot pre-processing import standard scaler. Standard scaler. So that was one which is needed. Now let me run. What is the error I'm not getting? Let me just do one thing. I think that's just a type error. I've typed it wrong. So let me open up my reference file, and from that I'm just gonna get it. That's in my desktop. The car price prediction. And here I'm gonna open up the app. MWY, yeah, and here let me just copy up till this function def. You can see here def predict, till that function. Let me just copy, and let me just, don't worry, I'm just gonna I'm also gonna explain that up. Still showing a error, okay, but then it should not show a error. There's no mistake. Let me try running this. Syntax error. So if I just remove this, that will be fine. Yes, that is fine. And now we have nothing. I've done nothing, but I've said return render template of index HTML. That one also I'm gonna show. So let me just get that index HTML too. It's in the templates. It's in the templates. Yes. Decoding source. Sorry. Unicode error. Okay, that's a Unicode error. Let me run this. Yes. So after doing that, I've got the front end of that. I've already designed. Do not worry about the code. I'll be pasting it in the GitHub link below. And after doing this, I'm just gonna create a function saying def predict. That is another function. So let me create that function. And inside this, I'm gonna give the fuel type and everything. So let me just copy that too. This is going to be the main part. So I'm just gonna copy up. I'm gonna paste it and explain it to you guys. Yeah, it's here, the function. Fuel type is actually the fuel type diesel. I mean, it should be either diesel or petrol or SGL. So there are CGL, there are different types of petrol. I mean, the fuel type. There are different types of fuels. So I've set the fuel types of diesel to 0, and then I've used this request import from the Flask and told request.method is equal to post. You can see here we have set it to post, and then year is equal to integer request.form year. I've showed you guys the data set. That is the error. I mean, we have a year in there, like which year they have bought it. So that one we have bought. We did the same for the present price. kilometers driven 2, that is, we're going to paste this, how many kilometers they have driven. And then owner, how many owners, how many cars does the owner have. And then fuel type to petrol, that one I've got. And then if fuel underscore type underscore petrol is equal to petrol. And remember guys, whatever name you have written, we have a name over here, that is year, and here you can see present price, and that name itself you're supposed to paste it. And that name itself you're supposed to paste it in over here. You can say request form here in this double quotes, in the single quote or double quotes. And then we have a if condition saying if fuel type is petrol, then we have set it equal to petrol, and fuel type of petrol is 1, fuel type of diesel is 0. Or else if fuel type of fuel type of 0, or else if fuel type of diesel is equal to diesel, then the fuel type of petrol is going to be 0, fuel type of diesel is going to be 1. And then we have set year is equal to 2020 minus year. So that means like number of years, how many years they have bought it, like how many years over bringing that car, because it's a second hand car. And then we have request a form of seller type individual, and we have a seller type of a dealer. So if this seller type is individual, we have set the seller type to 1, or a seller type individual to 0. That means it's going to be of the the dealer. So after that we have requested it for the transmission. So if transmission underscore manual is equal to manual, then transmission manual is equal to 1, or else this transmission manual is equal to 0. And then we are going to predict over here, saying prediction is equal to model dot predict, and inside this we have given all the columns that we have to predict. And then we have said that output is equal to round prediction. So this is the prediction formula. We have to predict, you can do this, you have to do this. So we have said round prediction 0, 2. And then if output is not equal to 0, that means the output is coming out other than 0, then if the output is smaller than 0, that means in points, then prediction text, that means the text of the prediction, here it's given, I'll just explain it. So you cannot sell the car because the money over there is going to be in paise. Else you can just say you can sell the car at, and then the output over here that we predicted here, the output here. And then we told else return render template index.html, and then we have told if underscore name underscore is equal to underscore main underscore, and then we have set the debug to true here. This is how we are running it. Okay, there is some error. Let me just try running it and checking it. So I have to just do this cd, and here it is saved the templates. So I'm gonna cut that, and I'm gonna come to the file directory where I've saved this about the prediction. So that one is going to be our. Okay, we haven't created any file about for that, so let me just create a file, a folder. I'm gonna say car price prediction, and I'm gonna paste the template. Okay, so desktop, car price prediction master, the main over, the template is needed. Okay, let's just do this. Cut it. Come here in the diabetes. Where am I put this? Where am I put this? Where is the folder? Yes, it's here. Car price prediction. Let me paste this. Yes, and then I'm gonna save this up, and I'm gonna save this as app.py itself, and it's going to be saved in the car price prediction. So I'm gonna save. Found. Oh, sorry, I've told open. I have to save it. That's going to be in the desktop. Car price prediction. App.py. Yes. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to close. Yes. And then I have to. Yeah. So let me come here and explain this to you guys, and after that let me just show you guys the error that we've got. What is the error? So here I've created a division. That means it should be displayed in a horizontal. Whatever is in the division tag, it should be displayed in a form, like in a division form. And first I've created a h2 tag, that means the heading 2 that says predictive analysis. And after that, here you can see I've put the question saying what is showroom price. The text, what should be the question over here? That one I've put. And then this is required, the name is present price. The name we have given here, you can see here, present price. We have to rename them or else it's going to show an error again. And then I've done the same for how many kilometers driven, how much owner had the car previously, what is the fuel type, are you a dealer or an individual, transmission type. And at the end I've created a button saying the button type is submit because we're going to submit, and the text for the button I've set it to calculate the selling price. So this is going to be the HTML part. And now let me just say cd. I'm gonna paste. Sorry. I'm gonna paste this car prediction. Yeah, okay, yeah. And then I'm gonna say Python app.py. This should work. It shouldn't show any error. Should work. So let me come to a new tab, paste this up. Index.html is not found. Yes, that should be the error. So let me come to my spider again and render template. Yes, index.html. So let me go to the file where I've saved this. I've saved this index.html. Let me come here and then here I'm gonna paste and I'm gonna say slash, and this is a Unicode error, so let me say R, and this should work. Yes, this should work. And now let me just copy this up, come here and paste this. Okay, let me paste this. Car price prediction index.html is not found. Template not found. Okay. Index.html. Okay, so let's go back to spider, and I have one line that I have to write. That is at methods is equal to post. That is to write. So why am I not getting this index.html? So let me do one thing, that is this templates. I'm gonna cut it and I am going to paste it in the, sorry, not here, it's going to be in the, sorry, it's going to be the here. To paste, it's open in another program. Yes, it is open over here, so let me close, try again. Yes, it is working now. And now let me run this again, and let me just get this again. And come here, paste this. Oh, sorry. Let me go back to spider. And here, let me just delete this up. This should be just be the index.html. Sorry. This should be the index.html. And this one, let me remove this. Let me run this and get it again. Copy this. Come here and paste. Yes, it is working. So let me write down the year And what is the showroom price? Let's in lakhs. That's going to be in lakhs. How many kilometers drived? And I had one car, let's say, and it's of diesel. I mean the fuel type is diesel. And I'm an individual. Like, are you a dealer or an individual? And this, let's make it as the automatic. Calculate selling price. You can see you can sell the car at 8.9 lakhs. It's going to, yeah, now we know how to predict the second hand car price. That's great. Thank you, friends. Please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Bye bye.